Hi everyone, Comic Review here. This time we're reviewing on The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 259. Now, as you know, this tells the origin of Mary Jane, and we got the Hobgoblin storyline. And it mainly starts off how MJ and Peter are going for a walk while in their jogging outfit, saying, "I'm real glad we finally got the chance to talk, Peter. I can just imagine how crazy your life has been, especially since I told you that I know you're Spider-Man. What am I gonna do? How can I ever convince Mary Jane that she's wrong about my identity? Should I even try?" And MJ points out that she's always had it hard, and talks about her father and that, with them saying, "Be sensible, Marine. I've already been offered a teaching position. It's only a small college out in the middle of nowhere, but it's a start. Oh, Philip, I'll move to Siberia if it would make you happy." And so they had two kids, Mary Jane's sister and Mary Jane. But due to so much stress and pressure, he's like, No, it isn't coming out right. It's trash. Everything I write is trash. Can't you keep those kids quiet, Marine? It's your fault I can't concentrate." So obviously he's looking for things to blame, and takes no responsibility for himself. So mainly Mary Jane tries to stay cool about the moving, and Gail, Mary Jane's sister, starts dancing, and he's like, "I never wanted a house or children. They're anchors holding me down. Enough! Those bloody dance lessons are costing me a fortune." And so Mary Jane's mother's like, "Philip, no! Not the children. Don't take your frustrations out on them too." So Mary Jane runs off, but stays calm about everything. So after moving from other places to other places with relatives and so much, she sees Peter walking down the street, and Peter remembering what he used to look like. And meanwhile, at one of the casinos, Hobgoblin shows up saying, "I'm afraid you'll have to postpone tonight's festivities, Mr. Hudson. You and I have business to discuss. The police may not be aware of this sweet little setup, but nothing escapes notice of the Hobgoblin." And so he points out, giving all his cuts and stuff, and mainly leaves off. So meanwhile, Mary Jane is asked to live with their uncle, who's got 3 unruly children, and Mary Jane's sister falls in love with a football player at college called Timmy, and her dancing career starts taking foot. She mainly says, "Tammy and I were decided to get married as soon as we graduate high school." What? You know, I actually do agree with her. You're starting off young, and I'm actually surprised that there are no schools or colleges that will teach about toxic or relationships. And you're like, are you crazy? You're throwing away your chance for college, for everything. You can't tell me how to live my life, Mum. Now, after the mess you made of yours. And so they mainly get married and leave. And Mary Jane starts doing drama plays. And Mary Jane's like, "It's from Gail. She's coming to visit. She has a surprise for us. I wonder what it is." And turns out that she's going to have a child, but Timmy isn't happy because of the responsibilities and such. And so, meanwhile, Hobgoblin shows up again, saying, "Save your money, gentlemen. There will only be one winner today, and his name is Hobgoblin." And so mainly he shows up saying, Stop squirming, you must realize there is no escape from me. Let me go! Don't hurt me, please! And so he mainly says, Coughlin mainly says, relax. For the present you are much more valuable to me alive, but that could change. We are about to become business partners from this moment. I am in 10% of your winning weekly take. Sure, anything. And so he mainly leaves, and Mary Jane points out how, meanwhile, Timmy was having too much responsibilities, and the fact he blames Gail, saying, You're the reason I can't study properly. You and your kid. And I actually do like how Mary Jane's uncle's like, get off the phone, Madeline. Let the kids solve their own problems. And it's actually like, I do respect Mary Jane's uncle. They should fix their own problems. And this is the point where she just wants to play miracle worker. So, turns out that he's pregnant again, and turns out Timmy left so he couldn't cope with the thought of another child. And turns out she was mainly ill, and Mary Jane started taking lessons and burger joint stuff. And turns out that Gail thought maybe they could help together and all that. And Mary Jane's like, no, your kids are your own problem. I've got my own life to live. I'm not going to waste it like Mum wasted hers. And so she runs off and never looked back. And her and Peter just go back to and all that. And turns out when Peter gets back, turns out the Fantastic Four villain, Reed Richards points out about the black suit while the symbiote just looks off. And the Rose talks with Hobgoblin about a hit, and it's Mr. and Mrs. Harry Osborn. So Peter makes it back to his apartment, and turns out there have been sightings of the Hobgoblin. So Peter gets into action, puts on his costume and such, and gets ready to take on the Hobgoblin. So, what do I think? The story, it's pretty awesome. We see what Mary Jane's like, and how she managed to turn her life around. Given the fact that people like her mum, her dad, her sister messed up their own life, and the same thing happened. But this one, Mary Jane actually turned things around. So I give this a good thumbs up. Still good, and still right. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.